Pharaoh TV News broadcast crew and I, Dalit Zahai, are now ready for your daily news briefing at 10:30 local time. But first, let us catch up with the major headlines. Dawit Yamana wins Best Climber title in 2024 Tour of Piang Lake. Nationals in the UK commemorates 1st September. Putin suggests limiting uranium exports. Nigeria flood affects 1 million people after dam collapses. On our local news, Eritrean professional cyclist Dawit Yamana has claimed the prestigious King of Mountains jersey in the 12th edition of the Tour of Piang Lake. Yamana secured the title by accumulating 32 points, emerging as the best climber of the tour. His remarkable performance in the 10th and final stage solidified his victory. Fellow Eritrean cyclist and teammate Yoel Habtaab also delivered an impressive performance, finishing second in the King of the Mountains classification. This year's Tour of Piang Lake, held in China, saw 130 riders from 25 teams competing, further highlighting the global presence of the Eritrean cycling talent. Eritrean nationals in the United Kingdom commemorated the 63rd anniversary of the beginning of the armed struggle for Eritrea's independence with patriotic zeal on 8th and 9th September in London. At the commemorative event, which saw the participation of numerous nationals, Mr. Saleh Abdullah, chargé d'affaires of the Eritrean embassy, remarked that 1st September marks the day when patriot Hamid Awate and his fellow ignited the armed struggle for independence after peaceful effort to secure higher rights were denied. He added that 1st September is both a day for remembrance and renewal, as Eritreans reaffirmed their commitment to their nation's cause. The event featured cultural and artistic programs reflecting the significance of the day. In a related event, the YPFDJ organization in South Sudan held its first Congress on 7 September in Awel, South Sudan. During the Congress, Mr. Johannes Thalemikael, Eritrea's ambassador to South Sudan, emphasized that values nurtured during the armed struggle for independence have been successfully passed down to the younger generation, as reflected in the strong participation of the Eritrean youth in nation building and safeguarding the national sovereignty. Mr. Takhliq Bayane, chairperson of the Eritrean community in Awel, highlighted that Eritrea's history is intertwined with history of its youth. He urged the YPFDJ organization to strengthen its organizational capacity and increase participation in the national affairs. The Congress, which expressed its readiness to enhance its role in the national affairs, also elected a 13-member executive committee. The Regional Control Service in Gashbarka region organized a seminar for farmers in Golit subzone, focusing on food safety in both humans and livestock. Experts in the field emphasized the significance of health consequences failing to properly conserve and produce agricultural products for both human and the animal consumption, whether knowingly or unknowingly. They urged farmers to strictly follow the guidelines provided by agricultural experts to ensure food safety. The experts also cautioned farmers against using unsafe pesticides and chemicals that could negatively impact their agricultural products in long term. Mr. Maazan Guse, head of the Animal Resources Control Division and an expert in the field, highlighted that improper pesticides use can lead to various diseases in both human and animals. He called on farmers to avoid unsafe food consumption practices and adhere to exert advice on pesticide usage. Mr. Emana Mahari, Managing Director of the subzone, stressed the importance of the seminar and advocates for similar seminars to be organized in the village level. The viewers will be back with the international news shortly. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Russia could place restrictions on the supply of certain strategically important raw materials to global market, President Vladimir Putin stated on Wednesday. He said exports from nuclear fuel, metals, and mineral could be all affected. The move would be a response to the Western attempts to block Russia's access to certain foreign-made goods, Putin said. While Ukraine-related sanctions limit Russia's access to foreign markets and its ability to pay for goods made abroad, Western warning of the further secondary sanctions suggests that Russia's access to dual-use goods, which have both civilian and military applications, could also be blocked. At the government meeting on Wednesday, Putin said that despite Western restrictions, Russia continues to supply some of the types of good to the world market in large quantities. In some cases, buyers are happily stockpiling Russian products. Russia's share in the enriched uranium market is estimated to be around 40%. The field is critical for both civil nuclear power generation and military nuclear weapons. The country is also the world's largest producer of titanium, which is important for aerospace industry. According to the UK-based mining technology portal, Russia is among the 10 largest producers of nickel and key component of the clean energy generation. On our last news, the collapse of a dam in northeast Nigeria has caused severe flooding, destroying thousands of homes and worsening a dire humanitarian crisis. The flood in Borno State has affected 1 million people, the state governor said on Wednesday, straining resources as authorities scramble to rescue residents and place them in a temporary shelter. Heavy rains had caused a dam to overflow on Tuesday, ruining a state-owned zoo and washing crocodiles and snakes into the flooded communities. Al Jazeera's Ahmed Idris reported that Maiduguri in Nigeria said a team of people are currently making their ways out of the areas covered by the floodwaters. He said civilians have been searching in water which limited diving equipments to save as many people as possible. Dear viewers, we've come to the end of tonight's news. Let's have a quick recap of the headlines. Dawit Yamana wins Best Climber title in 2024 Tour Pyeong Lake. Nationals in the UK commemorates 1st September. Putin suggests limiting Iranian exports. And Nigeria flood affects 1 million people after dam collapses. That wraps up our stories for tonight. Thanks for watching and have a good night.